As trade tensions between Canada and the U.S. continue to simmer, the town of Stanstead, Quebec finds itself at the heart of the issue, quite literally. It's located on the border between our two countries, but the recent threats of tariffs and counter-tariffs have cast a cloud of uncertainty on this border town. Joining us now is the mayor of Stanstead, Jody Stone. Mayor, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, so Stanstead, Quebec is very unique. Can you describe for us just how interconnected it is with the American village of Derbyline, Vermont, with which it shares a border?
Yeah, well, we share several services, water, sewer. The fire department goes from one side to the other. We have several buildings that are straddled on this border, namely the Haskell Free Library, which is literally, you can sit in one country and watch a show in another country. It's such an intertwined community, Stanstead and Derbyline.
So, Mayor, how does using these facilities, these shared facilities, work then? Are there sort of two different entrances, one for each country? And if not, do residents then have to go through customs each time they want to visit?
At the moment, the Canadians can enter the American entrance so long as they stay on the sidewalk to go into the entrance.
So then with Trump now in power, and obviously he's made it very clear he wants to beef up border security, are you concerned at all this could affect how things currently operate in your town?
Yeah, we absolutely are concerned. We're afraid that they're going to lock it down even more than it has been. We've actually had the new Secretary of Homeland Security come and visit the Haskell Library. So we're hoping that they see that it's secure, that the cooperation with the Homeland Security and with RCMP is really good. So we're hoping that we can keep the status quo.
Now, what's the relationship like between Stanstead and Derbyline right now? And if tariffs do go ahead, how do you think those could impact this relationship?
Well, we have people living on one side and working on the other. So the working relationship is very intertwined. And right now, with Canadians talking about boycotting as much as possible the American economy, that could have an impact on, well, both sides of the border, with businesses depending on each other to survive. So
Now, do
yeah, it
you
would have a big impact.
Now, do you see any issues with any illegal, say, guns or migrants or the flow of illegal drugs coming in from America onto our side of the border? Is this something that the town of Stanstead has to deal with? Is it a huge concern for you?
Well, luckily, Stansted hasn't been one of those hotspots for the illegal immigrants or for guns or drugs. But I'm with the Border Alliance, Mayors Alliance, and we've heard stories from other mayors from across Canada that have issues that need to be addressed.
All right. Now, are you doing anything to prepare for the possibility of these tariffs? Because we know it's sort of less than a month now that they could come into effect. Are you doing anything differently to make sure that your town is ready for them?
Well, I guess it's just communication. I spoke with my elected officials on the American side just yesterday to make sure that we keep the communications good. It's not because the president decides that he's going to put tariffs, that the relationships that we've built over the years has to be at peril. We don't need to lose those good, strong relationships. We need each other, and we need to make sure that we stay strong together.
And I'm curious, Mayor, what is the identity like of residents? Are they proudly Canadian on the Stanstead side and patriotically American on the U.S. side, or is it a mix of both because you're so close to one another? And since the tariff threat by Trump, have you noticed any change or shift in people's attitudes?
Well, definitely Stansted is la belle province. We're Quebecers, Canadians, but we do. It's not surprising to see American flags on people's homes in Canada, and same for the Derby Line area. That you'll see that they'll put up Canadian flags or even the Montreal Canadiens flag, because we are so intertwined. And to be honest, we're family. I have relatives that live just across the border, and so do many others from Stanstead and the surrounding communities.
And one last question for you, Mayor. How could tariffs impact local businesses? For example, I know that Stanstead is known as the granite capital. So, how much of that resource right now gets exported to the States?
Well, we have a granite quarries that are in the area, so I don't know how the impact would be on that. But I do know that we have granite businesses, and they also have granite. They have businesses this on the American side. So would the tariffs make it so that the production for the granite monuments, countertops, and stuff would be shift more towards the American side to avoid the tariffs? So that would mean a great job loss for Stansted for sure. So we're still speculating. We don't know.
All right, well, time will only tell. But Mayor, thank you so much for your time today and giving us some insights into what it's like living in Stanstead. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
That is Jody Stone, the mayor of the Canada-US border town of Stanstead in Quebec.